Most people spend their lives trying to secure what feels important: wealth, security, position, certainty, a future they hope will stay. Yet, when life is suddenly seen beside death, these things fall strangely silent. Because there comes a point when what we gathered can no longer answer what remains unanswered within. And it is here that a deeper question begins to stir. Long ago, a young boy named Nachiketa stood before death, not to ask for life, but to ask something else. It began during a sacrifice. His father, 𝗪𝗪 was performing a sacred ritual. A ritual meant to offer away all that he possessed. He was giving away cows as tradition required, but the animals were old, too weak to eat well, too tired to give milk. The ritual was being completed, but something in it no longer felt whole. And the boy, Nachiketa, noticed. Sometimes we first notice something is wrong, not through argument, but through a quiet discomfort we cannot ignore. Because in a true offering, nothing that one truly has is withheld. And so, Nachiketa asked his father, "To whom will you give me?" The question came once, then again, and when it returned a third time, the father, troubled, perhaps angry, answered without care, "To death. I will give you to 𝗵𝗺, the god of death." What is striking is not the anger. It is that the boy took the words seriously. He went, not dramatically, not rebelliously. He simply followed where the question had now led him. And so, Nachiketa arrived at the dwelling of 𝗵𝗺, but 𝗵𝗺 was not there. For 3 nights, he waited. No welcome, no answer, just silence. And perhaps that part of the story matters more than we notice, because some questions do not open immediately. They first ask whether we can stay with them without turning away. When 𝗵𝗺 returned, he saw a young Brahmin boy waiting silently at his threshold for 3 nights. And because a guest had remained unattended, 𝗵𝗺 offered 3 boons for the 3 nights of waiting. For the first boon, Nachiketa asked that his father's anger be calmed and peace restored. For the second, he asked to know the sacred fire that leads to heaven. But the third question changed everything. Nachiketa asked, "When a person dies, some say something remains. Others say nothing does. What is true?" 𝗵𝗺 did not answer at once. Instead, he offered what most humans aspire for: long years, wealth, pleasure, power, everything that usually persuades us to postpone deeper inquiry. But Nachiketa listened and quietly refused. Then 𝗵𝗺 revealed a distinction that remains true even now. There is what feels pleasant in the moment, prayers, and there is what is truly worth choosing, shreyas. The pleasant arrives quickly. It comforts, it distracts, it gives the mind something immediate to hold. But the deeper good often asks for something harder: patience, clarity, the courage not to turn away. Nachiketa chose what did not fade. And perhaps that is why this ancient dialogue still remains alive. Because the real question was never only about death. It was whether anything in us remains untouched while everything changes. Yama's answer was subtle. What dies belongs to the body, the mind, the passing story. But the deepest self, the one that quietly witnesses all experience, is not born and does not end. And perhaps that is why everything else became smaller before him. Because once something deeper is seen, what passes no longer feels enough. If this reflection resonated with you, you may subscribe to this channel to explore more timeless wisdom here, not as stories of the past, but as mirrors for our own lives. Om Tat Sat.